Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight at 5:30. I'm Sarah Herbakowitz, and it's a full desk tonight. I'm with Corrales Ortiz and Sierra Clark, and that's because we have a busy weather week ahead and a busy sports week ahead. Is that right?
Yes, week 0 starts off this week. So exciting that the season is getting started off soon in high school football.
Yeah, but you guys have been running around for a while. I know we've seen you in and out, back and forth to high schools.
Yes, we've been all over Central Arkansas covering these schools. These players have been working so hard leading up to the season, and we've been previewing these schools. You can look on our website at thv11.com, and also later tonight we'll have a preview on Arkadelphia season.
Awesome, can't wait. Thanks so much, Sierra.
Can't believe we're already in that season.
We are already, and I know a lot of those players are wondering if they can make it through the rain this week.
Yeah, so just like you kind of hinted, we do have some rain chances for this upcoming week, followed by, after such a beautiful weekend, honestly. We were pretty hot today. Many locations reached the upper 90s. It's the hottest we've been in quite some time. Look at that. The Queen saw 100 degrees. We are still pretty warm this evening, sitting at 96 here. Dew points in the triple digits. We're starting to see some of that moisture, that humidity start to creep on up. We'll really feel that tomorrow. Tonight, it's going to be much warmer than our last previous nights in the mid to upper 60s. We'll be around the mid 70s, partly cloudy conditions. But because it's still going to be hot and a little bit more humid tomorrow, we do have select counties under heat advisories for tomorrow afternoon. I'll let you know what else to expect for this upcoming week, because we mentioned we have some rain to talk about. More on that just ahead.
Hours ago, police began investigating a shooting that happened in broad daylight near I-30 and 65th Street. Just before 3 p.m., ASP and LRPD were dispatched for reports of shots fired as several vehicles were heading eastbound on the interstate. This was between Scott Hamilton Drive and 65th Street. Police diverted the suspected cars involved to the service road while ASP questioned the people inside. We are working to get more information and we'll give you those updates as we learn more. A Little Rock family is in mourning tonight as a loved one passed away in an overnight hit and run on South University. Police say that just after 1 a.m., they were told a car hit a person walking along South University near the Arkansas Workforce Center. When officers arrived, they found 41-year-old Jamal Lewis of Little Rock. Medical responders also came to the scene and confirmed that Lewis had died from his injuries. Authorities believe that Lewis was hit as he attempted to cross the northbound lane. In Washington, federal authorities are looking for answers after a car crashed into a barricade on the U.S. Capitol grounds at around 4 a.m. Police say that the unnamed man was shooting a gun when officers responded to the crash, and then the man got out of his car as it went up in flames. The gunman said nothing before shooting himself in the head. Tonight, we don't know much about that gunman, and police are still in the early stages of their investigation.
We do know that the subject has a criminal history over the past 10 years or so, but nothing that at this point would link him to anything here at the Capitol.
And we will provide updates on this developing story here on THV11 and on our website at thv11.com. Continuing with news out of Washington, developments in the seizure of White House documents from former President Donald Trump's Florida residence are still unfolding. Meanwhile, more questions arise, including why Trump held on to the documents and if the Justice Department executed the search warrant last Monday simply to retrieve the records or as part of a broader criminal investigation. Elise Preston has the latest from New York.
The chairman of the House Intelligence Committee is asking the Director of National Intelligence for an immediate review and damage assessment after revelations former President Trump kept highly classified White House information at his Florida estate.
The fact that they were in an unsecure place that is guarded with nothing more than a padlock or whatever security they had at a hotel is deeply alarming.
On Friday, a federal judge unsealed the warrant that authorized last week's FBI search of Mar-a-Lago and a receipt of items that were seized. It said agents retrieved close to 24 boxes of material containing 11 sets of classified documents, some marked top secret. The Justice Department is investigating Trump for potential criminal action. It found probable cause of impeding the investigation, as well as the removal of classified national security records and violation of parts of the Espionage Act. House Republicans are demanding the Department of Justice hand over the affidavit detailing the basis for their warrant.
The affidavit in support of the warrant will give you the probable cause to try to understand what is going on here.
Meanwhile, CBS News has learned a joint FBI Homeland Security memo sent to law enforcement across the country warns of growing threats against them, including a threat to place a so-called dirty bomb in front of FBI headquarters and general cause for civil war and armed rebellion. Over the weekend, supporters of the former president gathered again near Mar-a-Lago to protest the search of his home. Demonstrators also turned out at the FBI field offices in Los Angeles and Phoenix and at a rally in New Jersey. Elise Preston, CBS News.
And in a social media post last night, Trump criticized the Biden administration and law enforcement response to the investigation, calling it a, quote, witch hunt. Governor Asa Hutchinson is now responding to that raid at Mar-a-Lago, defending law enforcement. The governor referenced his past experience working with national security and saying that if the Republican Party is one that stands behind law enforcement, they must also stand behind the FBI. Hutchinson also added that while he's seen mistakes in law enforcement in the past, it does not apply to acts by all law enforcement, sharing that his belief is anyone to be held accountable, it would be the Department of Justice.
That the FBI is simply carrying out their responsibilities under the law, a lawful search warrant that a magistrate signed off on. And they didn't go in there with FBI raid jackets. They tried to constrain their behavior carrying out that warrant.
And we will have more details on this as we learn more and as we said, the situation unfolds. Back at home for years, an old concession stand over in Tyndall Park in Benton was used just for storage. But one man had a vision, and THV11's Frederick Price shares how the heart of the park could soon be the best spot in town.
This park has been a staple for this community for a very, very, very long time.
For years, Scott Elliott says this concession stand was being used for storage.
And decided to give the mayor a call, told him about a vision that I had for this place, saw it as a community hub.
The building is located in the heart of Tyndall Park in Benton. Elliott says there are 4 schools nearby and thousands visit the park year-round.
So why not just have a place that's centralized that could service the communities, service the school.
He started renovating the building about 2 months ago so he could serve this community. The concession stand and pro shop is open 7 days a week from 7 in the morning until 7 p.m., which he adds comes in handy as Benton students return to school this week.
The kids will know and the teachers will know that they can grab breakfast. Teachers will always know that we're going to be here every day for them to get a hot dog for lunch.
He also says the shop goes beyond just serving food and drinks. Tyndall Park has recently undergone renovations. He says he's committed to making the business a one-stop shop for things like biking gear and other recreational games.
You can show up here with nothing, eat, play 5-6 different games, and then next thing you know, you've had a full day and you didn't even know what was going to happen. It was unexpected.
Aaron Bradshaw owns a food truck next to the concession and pro shop. He helped Elliott make this dream a reality.
He called me to bring my food truck out here to make sure that we could still offer this to the community 7 days a week.
And he adds for him, he's happy to be able to contribute to providing a safe place for people to be.
My son's a high schooler here, so there's no better reason for me to get involved to try to make sure there's safety, make sure there's some place to relieve stress.
In Benton, Frederick Price, THV 11 News.
All right, thanks, Frederick. Now, just ahead, we're going to talk about how a Cabot man's hobby turned into something more than he could have ever imagined. But first, Corrales.
Coming up, I'll have a check on what to expect for the work week just ahead.